I'll never forget the day my son, Ethan, came to me with the look of uncertainty in his eyes. It wasn't just a typical teenage mood swing or a bad day at school. It was deeper. I could tell something was bothering him, something personal. As a single mother, I've always tried to keep our bond strong, but this time, I sensed he was struggling with something he didn't know how to put into words. It all started after his 14th birthday. He had grown taller almost overnight, and his voice was beginning to change. Puberty had arrived, and with it, a wave of insecurities that I had braced myself to help him through. But I never expected the issue he would bring to me. That evening, Ethan came into the kitchen while I was chopping vegetables for dinner. He leaned against the counter silently, and I looked up to meet his hesitant gaze. "Mom," he said softly, "can we talk about something kind of weird?" I stopped what I was doing immediately. "Of course," I said, giving him my full attention. "You can always talk to me." He shifted on his feet, looking down at the floor. "It's about me. My body. I think something's wrong with me." My heart sank. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" He looked up, face flushed. I think I'm too small. Down there." The words hung in the air between us for a moment. I stayed calm, taking a deep breath, knowing this was a fragile moment. "Thank you for telling me," I said gently. "That takes a lot of courage." "I didn't want to," he admitted, "but it's been bothering me for months. Some guys in the locker room were joking about size, and I just felt really embarrassed." I walked over and hugged him. He didn't pull away, even though he normally would have. "Ethan, it's completely normal to feel insecure sometimes, especially during puberty. But I promise you're not wrong or behind. Everyone develops at different times." "But what if I never catch up?" he whispered. "That's not going to happen," I said. "Your body is growing just the way it should. You're healthy, and everything will even out in time." Still, I knew my reassurance wasn't enough. He needed more than just words. He needed understanding, facts, and empathy. Later that night, after he'd gone to his room, I did some research. I found articles from pediatricians and psychologists that explained just how common these fears are among teenage boys. Many of them are misinformed by what they see online or hear from peers. I bookmarked a few pages and even found a short, age-appropriate educational video that explained how body image issues affect boys just as much as girls, even if they're talked about less. The next day, I knocked gently on his door. "Mind if I come in?" I asked. He nodded, setting down his phone. "I looked into what you talked about," I said, "and I found some stuff that might help." I showed him the video, and we watched it together. It featured a young doctor explaining that male body parts vary widely in size and that media portrayals often give boys a skewed perception of what's normal. It also talked about how emotional maturity, kindness, intelligence, and confidence were the real qualities that matter, not anatomy. Ethan was quiet at first, but I saw a shift in his expression. "So, I'm not weird?" "Not at all," I said. "You're perfectly normal. And more importantly, you're a good person. That's what people are going to care about in the long run." That weekend, I arranged a visit to our family doctor, Dr. Mitchell, someone Ethan trusted. During the checkup, I let them have some private time to talk. Afterward, Ethan told me the doctor had said the same things I had, but it meant a lot to hear it from a professional. Dr. Mitchell had even shared stories of other boys who came in with the same concern, which helped Ethan realize he wasn't alone. Things didn't change overnight, but little by little, I saw his confidence return. He started playing basketball again, a sport he'd recently abandoned out of self-consciousness. He laughed more. He started focusing on his strengths, his artistic talent, his ability to make people smile, his clever way with words. One day, about 2 months later, I was driving him to school when he turned to me and said, "Thanks for not laughing at me, Mom. I was so scared you'd think I was being silly." "You're never silly for having feelings," I said. "And I'll always be here to listen." We reached the school parking lot, and as he grabbed his backpack, I noticed something different in his posture. He walked a little taller, with more confidence in his step. My heart swelled with pride. That afternoon, I reflected on how hard it must be for boys like Ethan. Society doesn't always give them space to talk about their insecurities. There's an assumption that only girls struggle with body image issues, but boys suffer too. They just don't always know how to express it. That night, I wrote in my journal, "Today my son taught me something." He reminded me that even our strongest loved ones can feel weak sometimes. But with love, patience, and a listening ear, we can help them find their way back to strength. I knew our journey wasn't over. There would be other worries, other phases, other heart-to-hearts. But that moment, when he trusted me enough to be vulnerable, was one I would cherish forever. In the months that followed, Ethan continued to grow, not just physically, but emotionally. He joined the art club at school and even submitted one of his sketches to a student competition and won second place. I could see the self-doubt fading, replaced by the quiet confidence of a boy beginning to believe in himself again. He began helping out at a local youth group too, sharing advice with younger boys going through similar changes. He didn't talk about his own experience explicitly, but he offered empathy, understanding, and reassurance, just like he had once received. It was beautiful to witness his transformation. One evening, as we were watching a movie, Ethan turned to me and said, "You know, I think I want to become a counselor one day. Like for teens or something." I smiled. "That would be amazing. You'd be really good at that." "Yeah," he said. "I think if I had someone like that to talk to earlier, maybe I wouldn't have felt so bad. I want to be that person for someone else." And just like that, I saw it. My boy, growing into a man with empathy, purpose, and heart. I was no longer just helping him navigate his fears. He was starting to lead others out of theirs. In a world where boys are often told to be tough and silent, Ethan had found strength in speaking up, and I had found the joy of listening without judgment. That, more than anything, is what helped him begin to love himself for who he was.